SpaceX Starlink abandons China and Taiwan. Other industry leaders are following their lead. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. I'm getting to the end of some fireside. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a technology day. We'll be talking about SpaceX Starlink and what exactly is going on with them abandoning China and Taiwan. They're moving operations and their suppliers' operations from China to Vietnam, to Malaysia, and other locations in Southeast Asia. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. I want to talk to you a little bit about this. I read an article I want to share with you and then give you my commentary on it. And of course, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this? What are the implications of this happening? Now, as I said at the beginning, a lot of other companies are following suit here. And I'll get into that also by the end of this video because I think that it's interesting how things are so malleable and can be changed by a very large entity like SpaceX or Elon Musk. So before we get into this article, I want to say that if you enjoy the content, throw it a thumbs up. That's very helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. If you are, thank you. I appreciate that. Click this notification button over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. And if you want to say thank you for all of my hard work on this channel, there's a thank you button. Click on that, give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, that's perfectly fine. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. Also, if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks, check them out there at JCristina.com/books. And finally, if you want more Starlink content, I've put together over 360 videos over the last 48 months. Check them out here. Don't click on it yet. Right here, I put together a playlist just for you. So let's get into this article. Once again, I'll give you my commentary. And finally, I want to hear from you. What do you think? And if you're shy, you don't want to put down there any of your thoughts, put an emoji down there. That's fine. A poop emoji. Whatever you like. So the article starts out by saying, SpaceX is driving a major shift in global electronics supply chain as suppliers of Elon Musk SpaceX Starlink satellite internet service increasingly move their production operations from Taiwan to Vietnam. This shift, led by SpaceX's requirements, underscores the company's emphasis on diversifying supply chain and addressing geopolitical risks. That is very important there. I'll get into that once again by the end of this video. WNC, a longtime supplier of routers and network devices for SpaceX, has now expanded production to Vietnam. In its April annual report, WNC explains that it aims to, quote, expand its global production capabilities in response to evolving geopolitical conditions and the demand of its clients like SpaceX. Universal Microwave Technologies, or UMT, another key supplier for SpaceX Starlink, has followed suit, investing in new facilities in Vietnam as well as a plant in Thailand. The company highlighted the benefits of these moves, noting that expanding overseas, quote, alleviates customer concerns about geographic risks and enhances cooperation with clients. For SpaceX, these relocations mean that critical SpaceX Starlink components can be sourced from multiple regions, improving resilience and stability in the supply chain. Absolutely the case. SpaceX's satellite internet equipment has previously been produced by around 50 Taiwanese companies specializing in sensitive satellite and ground station components, making Taiwan, or China, a vital player in the satellite sector. This is all changing. However, as geopolitical tensions heighten, SpaceX has proactively encouraged its suppliers to reduce reliance on production in Taiwan. It's a little bit more than encouraged. For example, Chinpu Industry, a supplier of satellite components, reported that SpaceX directly requested the relocation of production orders to Thailand for these reasons. Directly requested. It's like, do it. If you don't want to do it, I'm going to find someone else. Reports in September also indicate that SpaceX is exploring a $1.5 billion investment in Vietnam, although specifics regarding the timeline and focus of the investment remain undisclosed. This potential commitment further underscores the importance of Vietnam as an emerging hub for SpaceX Starlink production. Another SpaceX supplier invested $5 million in a new facility in Vietnam for producing soldering materials used in printed circuit boards. This move aligns with a broader trend of tech suppliers, from Foxconn to TSMC, accelerating investment in Southeast Asia, Japan, and even in Europe to build more resilient supply networks, actually to get away from Taiwan and China. Truth be told, Taiwanese construction company Actor observed the broader industry trend. Actor's Southeast Asia business expanded by 50% last year, driven by the demand in electronic manufacturing hubs like Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia. They highlighted Vietnam's rapid growth in electronic assembly, Thailand's surge in printed circuit board factories, and Malaysia's new semiconductor packaging operations. As SpaceX pushes suppliers to build outside of traditional hubs, SpaceX Starlink's development is positioned at the center of a wider restructuring in the tech supply chain, which aims to diversify manufacturing and reduce vulnerability in the shifting geopolitical landscape. China and Taiwan is being replaced by manufacturing in Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia. So I did, of course, a little bit of research into this, and what I found was SpaceX Starlink, spent over $6.2 billion in Taiwan for semiconductor work. So it could be their routers, it could be parts for their satellites, wherever. So that is a lot, over $6 billion last year. Well, of course, reading this, we see that is all changing. SpaceX Starlink and Elon Musk is the catalyst for the movement from China, Taiwan into Vietnam, Malaysia, and of course, we see a lot going on over there in Thailand. So that move is happening. And once again, the catalyst is Elon Musk. And he's moving things from Taiwan and China for geopolitical reasons, for supply chain reasons, however you want to look at it. If we look here in the US, we found, for example, DJI, the makers of the #1 brand of drones that we see, DJI was going to be banned from the US last year. It was like a whole big to-do. And even today, yes, you can buy DJI in the US, but, for example, zero U.S. government facility can. I don't care who you are, DOJ, DOD, I don't care who you are, the FBI, CIA, whoever, you cannot buy DJI products. Why? Because they are being made in China. And the problem with it is that you don't know if there's back doors in these things. And a drone could be used, let's say, nefariously, right? There could be people that are not on the up and up. They could use a drone to do some bad stuff. Or what is going on with the drone can be radioed through, let's say, IoT to China. So there could be just a little bit of backdoor coding in the drone that will allow this to happen. And the only way to find it is you have to reverse engineer those chips to see what's on those chips, to see if they are safe for government use. And they don't want to do that because every time there's an update, a firmware update, a new model, they have to reverse engineer the whole thing and then take who knows how long to be able to say, yes, we certify these specific DJI model drones are okay. Well, that doesn't mean on the next firmware update, they're no longer okay, right? So it just doesn't make sense for the government to use them. I personally think, and I said this way back like 4 or 5 years ago, I think the drones that we use here in the United States should be made in the United States. Is that hard to even conceive of? The same thing holds true with Tesla. When Elon Musk sells a car in China, well, that Tesla is made in China and sold in China. It's not made in China and then boated over to the US and sold to us. It's not. Any Tesla that you buy here in the US is made in the US. I think that that is fantastic. Does anyone not think that that's the way it should be? I sure as hell do. The same thing holds true with this. I really like to see that Elon is kind of pulling away from China a little bit, because you just don't know what they're putting into these circuit boards, into these chips, into these PROMs, into these EPROMs that can be rewritten on the fly. Just simply download some data and then rewrite that PROM. It's not a big deal to be able to do it. I was writing PROMs when I was a kid back in the 80s. Okay, this is not a big deal. And now that we have an Internet of Things where there is even low or small amounts of data that is trickling out there continuously, right? It's very easy to be able to get this data, all right? And if it turns on and downloads the update to a chip, now all of a sudden every single DJI model has that update, that has that backdoor back in it, or whatever the case might be. Maybe it is as simple as taking control over the drone at any given time. Who knows, right? But what we can see here is what Elon Musk is doing with SpaceX Starlink is trickling out through the technology sector. There is a lot of folks now that are no longer using China or Taiwan for manufacturing and are moving into Malaysia and Vietnam because of the security risk or for geopolitical reasonings, whatever you want to call it. So what say you? What do you think? Do you think it's a good thing that he's moving out from China and Taiwan into Vietnam, Thailand, and of course, Malaysia? Do you think that this is good? I personally do. All right. I really do. Once again, back to where Teslas are made are where they are sold. And I think that that is fantastic. I wish the United States would do that for everything. Build here, manufacture here, sell here. All right. If you want to sell outside the country too, that's fine. All right. But build here, manufacture here, sell here. I think that's awesome because it increases taxes. It increases the amount of our workforce to be able to actually do something, bring the damn manufacturing back. Stop relying on countries that are adversarial. I mean, you're relying on a country that is China that really doesn't like us. That's like relying on Russia. Have some sense, right? So it seems like Elon has some sense here, and I like to see it. It is good. Anyways, what do you think? Down below, put your thoughts. I want to hear from you. And once again, if you're too shy, put an emoji down there. I'm happy with that. At least I know that you got to the end of this video. Finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the many years, and my merch and my tees and my shirts and my books and everything else. If there's something that you like over there on JCristina.com, pick it up. Help support me and my family. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, keep buying US. We'll see you in the next one. Love you all. Another SpaceX supplier invested $5 million in a new facility in Vietnam for producing soldering materials used in Oh, man. This isn't as easy as you think.